guys, welcome back to another video, and to this guitar. This is a 2016 US Special, and the reason why I wanted to show it to you is because it has the custom shop Texas Specials fitted as standard, and I wanted to shoot them out against the Tex-Mex pickups that I put in this guitar. The last video that this guitar was in was against the 57-62 pickups, which in my opinion are still some of the nicest Strat pickups you can get. But again, I wanted to compare it to this one. So spec wise on this guitar, you have an older body, and I'll just bring it in a bit closer so you can see the grain and stuff. Really nice looking sunburst Strat. Maple fingerboard. It's a 9 1/4 inch radius, usual Fender like one piece with the skunk stripe. And then you do have the larger 70s headstock on this one, and then normal sort of Fender machine heads. You know, pretty usual Strat sort of stuff, except for as standard, the bridge is wired on the tone control, and it has the grease bucket tone circuit as well. So it's basically just like a treble bleed where you retain a bit more brightness, which we'll look at later on. But now let's get through to the sound comparisons of these two. We'll do the same sort of things we did before. I'll play some Frusciante type stuff. A little bit cleaner this time than I did before, just so we can distinctly hear the difference. And then I'll come back and give my thoughts on that one. So you heard the sound examples just there, and once again, to be fair, I feel like the Tex-Mexes, they're just that bit too hot and too sort of spiky. And bear in mind as well that I've got those pickups sank right the way down into the scratch plate. These ones are actually a little bit higher, but where I would normally set, you know, Strat pickups to. They're still just that bit more bitey, that bit more, they just want to compress and be hot. And you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not in any rush to change them, they're okay, but again, I think it loses out in the straightforward shootout. So let me know what you think between these two guitars, which one you preferred. And obviously differences in the guitars are obvious, you know, they are different guitars. The strings on this guitar are about a week older than the strings on this guitar. So sort of take that with a pinch of salt, but you know, you'll get a good idea with how they sound, because pickups on electric guitar, they do make up the vast majority of what you're going to hear. What you're going to feel is obviously not something you can pick up on YouTube anyway, but this guitar is about 3 pounds lighter than this one, so there's one major difference. This is a heavy Strat, but I like it. I've always, you know, been really fond of that guitar. And then, you know, just general things like the resonance on this guitar is really nice, combined with the lightweight, and you know, everything about it is just top quality. The only thing I don't really like about it, and Strats in general that have 22 frets, because you end up with this sort of overhang there, and again, that is just full-on guitar nerdery that I mentioned sometimes. I just prefer them with 21 frets. It's just a thing. It wouldn't put me off the guitar, but I just always feel it looks a bit weird when there's like an extra diving board, if you like, of a fret on the fretboard. But yeah, let me know what you think. We'll do some straight, you know, just focusing on this guitar, show you a bit more about how it sounds. And then when we've done that, I want to give sort of my hot take, if you like, on the new Chili Peppers album, because I know there's people on here that are fans of the Chili Peppers, and I'd like to know what you think of it as well. So I'll see you back here in just a minute. So there you go, then you've heard that guitar. All links down below for this guitar as normal, as well as you know, more on this video on the website, like all the videos lately. But this album then, Unlimited Love, like I say, I'm sure a lot of you have probably already you know, got it and listened to it. I've listened to it sort of 4 or 5 times through now, and the standout songs on there for me is Black Summer, obviously. Here Ever After I really like as well. Not the One took a few listens, but actually with the piano and the way John's using the volume swells, I think it does really work, and that's grown on me a lot. Great Apes is another one that's slowly growing on me. But the only other two that really stood out to me were These Are the Ways and Veronica as well. So they're the tracks on the album that, you know, have got me, and the rest I'm sort of, maybe they'll grow on me, maybe they won't. So I'd love to know which of the songs, you know, which ones you guys like. Black Summer to me feels like, it was almost like they were saying, right, here's the John that you're all, you know, you've all been waiting to hear. Here it is, and the rest of the songs, they're going to be for us. And it does feel like that, and each of the other songs on the album, it's almost like they don't really feel like they belong on an album as such, they just stand out on their own as individual tracks. And it's just a bit weird, because usually you can place songs in like an era, and John's tone as well, I feel, is a bit different. All of the usual suspects are there guitar-wise. You do hear the Jag distinctly at some point, you know, and live we've seen him use all of his, you know, strats that we know him for. But I think, based on what I've seen live and based on how the album sounds, that the Silver Jubilee is gone or took a back seat. And also the DS2 is way less sort of prevalent across the album as it was in, say, Stadium Arcadium. It's definitely a different sound. You know, so I'd like to know if, like I say, anyone else has picked up on that as well. But yeah, I think overall, what it doesn't feel like is a bookend for the Chili Peppers. It absolutely feels like we will get more, and maybe even, you know, better is to come sort of thing. It just feels like they give us one track that we were kind of expecting and what we wanted, and then they've just put together a load of standalone tracks doing their thing. And you know, it sums up well actually with what Flea said about it. He said, like it, don't like it, there's nothing else like it. And that is very true. In terms of, you know, new music, this is proper musicians, it's recorded properly, it sounds real. I mean, especially on Here Ever After, Chad's drums on that track, if you crank it up, they sound huge and actually very, very different for Chad. And I don't know, the whole album, it sort of feels like Chad and Flea are the two that are most connected for most of the album, rather than Flea and John and then the other two sort of thing. But again, let's have a discussion about it, let me know what you think, and that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.